Hi all, just heading to work today. I've got quite a long drive and I was thinking of an issue that occurred to me and I wanted to share it. There are people in the world that are looking at different ways to control us as a human species and control the world and all the animals and everything on it. This should be common knowledge at this point, but sadly it isn't. But what the thought was that I came across the other day was, we all live in our own little world. We're in our bodies, driving around, or walking around, or eating, or whatever it is we're doing. And our senses only bring in what's around us, what we can see. And that's about the limit of our understanding. For in reality, we really don't know what's beyond our view. At this point, we don't. So we rely on other people to explain to us what's going on outside of our reach. Friends, family, media, internet, all those kinds of things. So the media is being controlled by people at this point. Whether you're aware of it or not, it most definitely is. And what's really upsetting for the media and people that are controlling it is that we have the internet, so we're still able to communicate beyond what they tell us. And it occurred to me, if they control all the media that's around us, and if they control the internet and control our communication with each other, then we cannot possibly know what's going on in the world. We only know what they will tell us, what they will program us to believe in the news media. And if they control the internet of what we can and cannot say, then we cannot even look on the internet anymore for information. So each one of us will become in our own little bubbles and only know what they tell us. It's kind of like having walls all around us so we can't see, and we will only know our own little worlds and our own little life, and have no idea what's happening outside of that. That is a short-term goal for the new global government, and it's an ultimate form of control. They could put on the media that there's this huge catastrophe and war and thousands of people have died in a certain place, and that never happened. And how are we supposed to know the difference? We won't. We won't know if it's true or not. And after a period of time, we will start relying on this information to tell us what's happening and start just plain old believing it. We won't know what's in Arizona if in Oregon they're telling you that half of the state has been destroyed by a nuclear bomb. And that has never happened. You won't know that that's not true. How would you? If all media communication is controlled. I hope I'm building the idea and the picture that I'm trying to paint, because it's very serious, and I do believe that that's where things are headed. Up here in Canada, I saw a billboard posted that our Prime Minister Trudeau was doing just that with the internet. He's already paid well over $600 million to the media, and the media is very pro-liberal. They obviously leave out very important facts and truths, and I see it in the USA as well, maybe even worse in the USA. So they're well on their way to controlling what we see and what we think. But the internet is a great big hole that they're going to need to curtail so that we don't have that avenue, and then we will no longer have communication with people in Arizona to ask them, did a nuclear bomb land there? No. And it truly is heading into a direction of some very scary stuff. It really is. When I was younger, I was told a lot of things from within my own self of future events. And I didn't understand most of it. It took a lot of years and a lot of different pictures and information that was given to me to put it together like in a puzzle that after a period of time became a picture that I could see in a more objective way than just bits and pieces and trying to understand each one. And that picture was pretty grave, and that was 30 years ago, where it was at its peak of this information, if you want to call it that. Most of that information is in my book. I wrote it to put it out there and share it instead of just carrying it and sharing it only with very close friends and family. But I'm seeing it come true. There is a lot more detail that I wasn't aware of that is taking place, but it's most definitely coming true, and it's very frightening for me, because what I saw and what was told to me was quite a bit worse than what's happening now. Quite a bit. But basically it comes down to choice. A choice that we all have. A choice that we all must make. And it involves what it is that we want. And in a way, the truth is that there really is only one choice. And we can't get away from that. And that choice will bring us back to the garden. But the only ones that will be left on this planet will be in the garden together, that have all made the same choice. And this is as individuals, like I've said before. And it's real, and it's true, and it's not going to change for any reason whatsoever. But this is something that is going to happen. Not because I say, But because I was told it was going to happen, and I really didn't know what to think of it, what to make of it. I've only grown since then because of it. But it's always been well, I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I guess we'll see. Well, guess what? I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it happen around me. And when I was told, it was a make no mistake kind of tone to it. No mistake that this isn't true. And we are moving on into it is what's happening from what I can see. So, I've never been religious. I don't come from a religious family. As a matter of fact, I had quite a childhood, which I'm sure I'll tell you about one day. And my family are beer drinkers and miners and loggers and that kind of thing. Basically what happened was with the things that were happening from within myself, which caught me completely off guard, made me go seek people that could tell me maybe what was going on. And it's been a journey ever since, as I'm sure a lot of you people will know that and understand that. I joined different groups, psychic groups, spiritual growth groups, all in my real quest to find out what was going on, because I knew that was what was happening within me wasn't quite crazy. There was just too much truth to it for me to decide I needed a doctor and get some help. There's a little bit too much truth that I knew I wasn't smart enough to make up in my own head. So my quest was to find out where the heck was this coming from. And I go through times of having doubts and questioning myself and questioning everything. And to be honest, I think that's a really healthy thing to do. I think if you don't question yourself and have doubts, you might run into some problems. So I'm pretty regular, but at the same time, I think anybody that knows me knows that there's something a little different about me. What I do for a living is I weld pressure pipe, and I'm also a pipe fitter. I have 2 trades through NAIT in Alberta College. I work in the oil fields. I've been a foreman on the largest dragline built in North America. I smoke a vape now for the last year or so. I swear, I burp, I drink beer, pretty regular. I have a beautiful wife. We've been together for close to 15 years now, I guess. We're best friends. When I met my wife, I was pretty upfront about everything, because with my spiritual understandings and where I was coming from, because I was tired of crazy people in my life that had a problem with anything other than crazy worldly things. It was great. It turned out it was just what she was looking for. So we've been best friends ever since, and I love her to death. But the idea about the media and the internet is why I decided to do this video right now. It's something that compelled me a little bit. There is another form of communication that the wife and I are going to look into, is ham radio. I don't know hardly anything about ham radio whatsoever. I know very little, but what I do know is that it can reach the other side of the world. Boy, even if it could reach across the country, I'd be happy, but you know, to speak to someone in Germany or Sweden or the UK or China, Hong Kong, anywhere, India, and have some real people saying what's happening in their country or in their village. News update, some real news update of what's going on where they are, I think is really, really important. Because we certainly won't be told. And I think it's going to be that bad. The biggest thing that I think I've learned since my younger years to do with all these future happenings and now what looks like the current happenings, really all we have to do is get through it. All we have to do is be willing and get through it. If there's fighting in the streets and you jump out of your house and go running in the street to fight, you're probably not going to make it. Protect your family, protect yourself, defend at any cost, but do not attack or join in fighting unless it's in defense. Survive, and when we get through to the other side is the garden. The garden that we came from. That's what we're returning to. So until then, we gotta try and keep this body alive. Keep it working to bring us to this place. Where it is, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going there. You work hard, do what you need to do, and you'll be looked after. You'll be brought to where you need to go. Just follow. Follow your nose. Follow the signs. Follow your heart. Follow what seems true. And you'll be looked after all the way through it in amazing ways.